Well, just it wasn't clear that they were going to win. I mean, you said at the beginning that Washington lost all these battles, and if they lost, well,
they were all
Sam
dead.
Adams, exactly, they were going to be killed. And one of Samuel Adams' close friends, his personal doctor, actually was decapitated by the British at the Battle of Bunker Hill. So they knew that could happen to them.
It's amazing to me how we have diminished these people. They were so amazing, so strong, and they all knew, I'm a dead man.
Yeah.
None of the more I learn about them, you know, I'm telling you, there's a reason why our teachers are saying, okay, memorize the date, kids. What day did that happen? I don't care about the dates. Who cares about the dates? Their character is what is amazing.
With Sam Adams, he was so amazing because in talking to another signer of the Declaration, Benjamin Rush, who was a good friend with him in Congress, the question is, how much are we willing to sacrifice to secure our liberty? And the British general tried to bribe Adams before they tried to kill him. They tried to bribe him. He said, no, no, no. He said, I've already made my peace with the King of Kings. You're not going to buy me and you're not going to destroy my country with me assisting. So after that, they said, all right, we'll kill him. So he knows what's happening. He knows what's coming. And interestingly, he was in a minority. I mean, we look now at the American Revolution like everybody was on board. No, 1/3 of the Americans wanted independence. 1/3 of the Americans fought with the British against the other Americans, and 1/3 didn't care as long as it didn't affect them. So he's in a minority.
Like today.
You know, he's in a definite minority. And he told Benjamin, how much are you willing to pay? He said, if this revolution cost Americans 999 lives out of every 1,000 in the war, he said, that's still not too high a price to pay to secure our liberty. He said, and the one remaining will breed a new race of courageous leaders.
Here's the amazing thing, America. I mean, if you get down, if you look to these guys, that's why we have to have them erased. If you're a progressive, you got to erase these guys because they will give you hope, and they will also show you that. I'm going to share with you how rich this guy was in a second. Because remember, they're all rich white men. How rich this guy was, and how he was willing to give everything up, not for a dollar. How many people in Washington, how many people do we talk to now? It's all about the money. These guys knew that it was about the rights of the individual, not human rights. There's a huge difference. The right of the individual, and willing to lose everything for it, because it was important. Back in just a second. Tonight we're kicking off our very first in Founders Fridays. This week it is Samuel Adams. If you want more on Samuel Adams, go to glennbeck.com and sign up to become a member of our Insider Extreme. You get the 5 things you didn't know about Samuel Adams from David Barton, and find out why Ira Stoll decided to write the story of Sam Adams, an incredible, incredible tale. Next Friday, we'll talk about George Washington. Log on to glennbeck.com, sign up for the Insider Extreme, continuing education. With me now, David Barton, author of The Lives of the Signers of the Declaration of Independence and founder of Wall Builders, an organization dedicated to presenting America's forgotten history and heroes. And Ira Stoll, former managing editor of the New York Sun. He is also the author of a great, great book, Samuel Adams' Life. All right. Everybody learns these were rich white slave owners. First of all, staunch anti-slavery, Samuel Adams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Rich, we know he was white. Rich.
When he went off to the First Continental Congress in Philadelphia, the people of Boston had to take up a collection to buy him a new suit. That's how poor he was.
David, you said earlier to me before we went on the air, this red suit, this was the only suit he had?
That happened in 1770. That's the Boston Massacre. John Hancock had that painting commissioned by Copley to show what Hancock looked like. Well, that's a suit Hancock owns. That's what he's about to wear years later to the first Congress. Now, there's
you
a
mean
picture.
Adams.
Excuse me, Hancock, Adams.
Okay.
So Adams is going off first Congress, which convenes at the latter part of August, first part of September of '74. And there's a painting of Sam Adams in the first Congress. It's the first Congress in prayer. And if you look at Sam Adams, they're standing there. He's got a brand new suit on. It's not red. It's different. This is really cool. This is an old textbook called Wives of the Signers. We used to study the ladies too. And it has in here talking about Sam's wife and how much poverty they went through, and poverty did not scare them, and they were very poor.
She actually made the money for the family.
She made money for the family by doing embroidery work on the side. So Sam is so busy saving the country.
That's practically Enron.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It is funny what happened, because in this letter it talks about her and what the friends did for her and Sam. The letter is August 11th, 1774. He's just been elected to Congress, about to go. And it said that his house has been leaking, the roof's been leaking, the barn's fallen down. So here's what the neighbors did. In this letter, it says, some persons, their names unknown, sent and asked Sam's permission to build him a new barn, the old one being decayed, which was executed in a few days. A second sent to ask to repair his house, which was soon effected. A third sent to ask the favor of him to call at a tailor shop to be measured for a suit of clothes, and chose his cloth, which was finished and sent home for his acceptance. A fourth presented him with a new wig, a fifth with a new hat, a sixth with 6 pairs of the best silk hose, a seventh with 6 pairs of the fine thread ditto, an eighth with 6 pairs of shoes, and a ninth modestly inquired of him whether his finances were not rather low. He replied that they were, and so the guy gave him a purse with 15 coins in it. Now, that's charity. That's what his neighbors did for poor Sam Adams, because he was dirt poor.
So not a slave owner.
Not a slave owner.
White.
When slaves
Christian.
came in his house, he freed the slaves. When they came in, they were free.
And he was poor. Now, I'm going to ask this question to the audience here. How many of you have learned, how many of you have at least doubled the knowledge you had on Sam Adams in the last half an hour? Okay? I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
The question is, why? Why don't we learn about Sam Adams? I know what they did in the progressive movement and why they did it.
Yeah.
But I think one of the important things is, and this is why it needs to be repeated, you know, sometimes you have to put things. The Israelites used to put their temple up on the hill so you could see it, you know, and your tent had to be built, you know, so it opened up so you could see the temple. It was to remind you all the time. I think these people need to be put on the hill. We need to see them, because right now our leaders are corrupt, business corrupt, our church leaders appear corrupt. Everybody is corrupt. And so it lowers your standard, because everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. And there's nobody to strive for. Yeah. These people were flawed. And you read any of the history, they were flawed. They weren't they weren't in spades everything. But they were amazing to today's standard. Now we have people who say, well, character doesn't matter. It does. And so what I want you to do, we're going to come back and we're going to participate with the audience here in just a little bit and share some more with you. But what I want you to do in the next few weeks is I want you to take some of the virtues of these guys, and I want you to examine yourself against them. Learn about them, and then examine yourself. Find out if they have something that you don't. Find out if they have something that maybe you're missing. Find out if they have something, or they thought something was important that our whole society is missing, and then put them up on the hill so you can see them all the time. His virtue, obviously, is faith, a profound belief that God is on your side as long as you're on His side and you're doing the right things. Back in just a second.